Jnanakosha, Puranas,
सर्गश्च प्रतिसर्गश्च वंशो मन्वन्तराणि च वंशानुचरितं चैव पुराणं पञ्चलक्षणम्.
Markandeya Purana, the various Manvantaras, Swayambhu Manvantara. Markandeya says Swayambhu Manu had 10 sons. He had divided the whole earth into 7 continents. In the beginning of Treta Yuga, the sons of Priyavrata had done the same. Prajavati, the daughter of Kardama Prajapati, had 10 sons and 2 daughters from Priyavrata. Names of these 10 sons were Agniha, Medhatiti, Vayushman, Jyotishman, Dhyutiman, Bhatya, Savan, Medha, Agnibahu, and Mitra. Among all these 10 sons, the last 3 never ruled any kingdom. The remaining 7 sons were made the rulers of all the 7 continents by Priyavrata. Agnighna was made the ruler of Jambudvipa, Medhatithi that of Palakshadvipa. Vayuman was given Shamaladvip, whereas Jyotishman was made the ruler of Kushadvip. Similarly, Dhyutiman was given Kraunchadvip to rule, while Bhatya was given Shakadvip. The 7th son, Savan, was made the ruler of Pushkaradvip. Savan had 2 sons, Medhavi and Dhataki. Savan subdivided the Pushkaradvip into 2 parts, and each part was given to each of the sons. Bhatya had 7 sons, Jalad, Kumar, Sukumar, Maranvak, Kushastar, Medhavi, and Mahadrum. Bhatya too subdivided the Kshavdvip into 7 parts and distributed them among all his sons. Similarly, Dhyutiman had 7 sons to whom were distributed his kingdom, Kraunchadip, after subdividing it into 7 parts. Jyotishman, Vayushman, and Medhahiti made their respective sons the rulers after giving them kingdoms. Agnighna was the ruler of Jambudvip. He had 9 sons. His kingdom was equally distributed among all of them. Nabhi, the son of Agnighna, was the father of Rishabh. Bharata was the son of Rishabh. Bharata was given the southern part of Rishabh's kingdom. Our country is named after Bharata. Jambudvip. Markandeya says that the total area of Jambudvip comprises of 1 lakh yojana, while the area of Jambudvip is twice the area of Jambudvip, 2 lakh yojana similarly. Shalmali is twice the area of Palaksha, while Kusha is twice the area of Shalmali. The area of Kraunchadip is twice the area of Kushadip, whereas the area of Shakadvip is twice the area of Kraunchadip. The island of Pushkar is twice the area of Shaka. 7 mountains are situated in all the 7 islands. They are Himavan, Hemakut, Rishabh, Meru, Neel, Swet, and Shringi. Ilavrit is situated in the middle of 6 mountains, which themselves are situated in the middle of the ocean surrounding all the 7 islands named earlier. Sumeru mountain is situated in the central part of Ilavrit. People belonging to all the 4 castes, Brahmin, Kshatriyas, Vaishya, and Shudra, reside in Ilavrit. Just above Ilavrit are the dwelling places of Lokapals like Indra. Lord Brahma's assembly is situated in the center. Beneath Ilavrit are situated the 4 mountains, Mandhar, Gandhamadan, Vipul, and Surapaksha. These 4 mountains are situated in each of the 4 directions. The great mountain Nishad is situated towards the west of Meru, while the great mountain Pariyatra is situated just behind it. Towards the south of Meru are situated the great mountains Kailash and Himavan. The mountains Shringavan and Jarudhi are situated towards the north of Meru mountain. River Jambu flows off around the Meru mountain in a circular path. The origin of Ganga. Markandeya says, River Ganga originates from a place named Dhruvadhar. This particular place is related with Narayana. River Ganga then falls on the Sumeru mountain and gets distributed into 4 main streams. One of these streams flows towards Chaitra forest. The name of this particular stream is Sita. The same Sita Ganga enters into the Varuna Oda reservoir, and from there it moves towards the ocean and again changes its course to get submerged into that stream of Ganga, which has fallen on the Gandhamadan mountain and which is known as Alakananda. Alakananda, after submerging into Manasarovar, subsequently entered the Mahadri Himalaya, where Lord Shankar held her in his locks of hair. He released her River Ganga only at the request of sage Bhagirath. After being released, River Ganga got subdivided into 7 streams, and ultimately all those 7 streams submerged into the ocean. The stream of Ganga, which originates from the west of Sumeru mountain, is known as Chakshasu. This stream gets submerged in the ocean towards the south. After passing through many mountains, the 4th stream reaches Savita forest from passing through 2 mountains, Suparashu and Meru. The particular stream is famously known as Bhadrasoma. Bhadrasoma Ganga ultimately gets submerged into the ocean after passing through mountains like Shankakut and Vrishab. Bharatavarsha. Kaustiki asked Markandeya, O Lord, please describe about Bharatavarsha. Markandeya replied, Bharatavarsha is surrounded by oceans on all its 3 sides. People living towards the east of Bharatavarsha are known as Kirata, while people living towards the west are called Yavan. The central part of Bharatavarsha is inhabited by all the 4 castes, Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishya and Shudra. The 7 mountains are situated in the central part of Bharatavarsha. They are Mahendra, Malaya, Sahaya, Shaktiman, Rikash, Vindhya and Pariyatra. There are thousands of hills situated in the vicinity of these 7 mountains. The central part of Bharatavarsha is subdivided into Janapadas. The residents of these Janapadas are known as Malesha and Arya. All the major rivers of Bharatavarsha like Ganga, Saraswati, Sindhu, Chandrabhaga, Yamuna, Shatadru, Vistasta, Iravati, Gomati, Vipaksha and Gandhaki originate from the mountains situated in the central part. The name of the prominent Janapada situated in the central part of the Bharatavarsha are Matsya, Akshavakut, Kulaya, Kuntal, Kashi, Koshal, Arbhuda, Kalinga, Malak, Vrik. River Godavari flows towards the north of Sahaya mountain. A city named Govardhana is situated near this mountain. Some other prominent places situated in the vicinity of the mountain are Balik, Vatang, Amir and Kalaksyoyak. Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudras live in the following states: Shudra, Pahalva, Charmakhandika, Gandhar, Yavan, Sindhu, Sauvir, Bhadrak, Satadruj, Parad and Kekeya. The following states are situated in the north of Bharatavarsha: Tamas, Hansmarg, Kashmir, Shulik, Kushak, Urna, Darwa. States like Abrarka, Mudagarka, Antargiri, Pahalwang, Mal, Damal, Vartik, Uttara Brahma, Prayagjyoti, Madhra, Videha, Tamaral, Patak, Mala, and Magadha are situated in the east of Bharatavarsha. States like situated in the south of Bharatavarsha are Pandya, Kerala, Chola, Maharashtra, Mahishik, Kalinga, and Amir. These are the Janapadas where Shabir lived. Janapadas situated in the west of Bharatavarsha are Shuryarak, Kalibala, Durg, Kaha, Pulind, Koshal, and Koshal. Bharatavarsha is the only country in the whole world where all the four yugas, Satya, Treta, Dwapar, and Kali, occur in a cyclic way. Bharatavarsha is the root of all forms of divinity, where deities reside and Almighty God takes incarnation. Tortoise incarnation. Kraustiki asked Markandeya, "O Lord, how does Srihari live in the form of a tortoise?" Markandeya replied, "Srihari in the form of a tortoise sits facing east. States situated in the central portion of his body are Vedi, Madra, Mandavya, Shalva, Khasha, Saraswat, Matsya. States which are situated in the mouth of the tortoise are Vrishadhwaj, Anjan, Kasha, Magadha, Pragyajyot, Mithila, Koshala. In the right foot of the tortoise are situated states like Kalinga, Bhanga. Vindhya mountain is also situated in the right foot. States which are situated in the tail of tortoise are Manimegha, Kusharadri, Kanj, Konak, Panchamad, Vamana, Sharkar, Chulik, Ashwakesha, Mandakya, Chandravar, Ashwa, Kaland, Ghor, Gruhatvadi are the states that are situated in the left foot of the tortoise. Janapadas like Kailash, Himalaya, Kraunch, Kaikeya, Takshashila, Gandhar, Kharas, Yadudhyeya, and Rajajanya are situated in the left side of the tortoise abdomen. Narayana in the form of tortoise is that inconceivable soul in which reside all the lords of deities and constellations. Bhadra Shwa Varsh. Markandeya says Bhadrashwa Varsha is situated towards the east of the great mountain Devakut. 5 more mountains are situated within its area: Kauranj, Shvetaparna, Neela, Shaival, and Paranjakshalagra. Bhadravarsh consists of thousands of Janapadas. Numerous rivers like Sita, Shankavali, Bhadra, and Chakravarta flows there. People living in Bhadravarsha are full of radiance and they live for 1,000 years. Narayana dwells in Bhadravarsha in his incarnation of Haigriva. Now I am going to tell about Ketumal Varsha, which has 7 mountains within its area: Vishal, Kambhal, Krishna, Jayat, Haripravat, Vishokha, and Vardhaman. There are thousands of smaller hills apart from these 7 major mountains where people live. The names of the rivers flowing at Ketumal Varsha are Vankushyama, Shvetambha, Amogha, Kamini, Shama. Narayana dwells in Ketumal Varsha in his incarnation of a boar. Now listen about Uttar Krudesha. There are thousands of trees which are fruit laden in all the season. Apparels are made from the bark of the trees and ornaments from its fruits. After being degraded, the residents of Devaloka take birth here. Uttar Kuru has two mountains, Chandakrant and Shuryakant. The river Bhadrasoma flows between these two mountains. Narayana, in his incarnation of Matsya, lives at Uttar Kuru. Chandradweep and Bharatadweep are the two famous islands situated in Uttar Kuru. Kimpursha Varsha. Markendeya says the people residing in Kimpursha Varsha enjoy a long life. They live for 1,000 years. They are never bothered by any kind of disease or sorrow. Just behind Kimpursha Varsha is situated Harivarsha. The residents of Harivarsha enjoy an eternally youthful life because of the sugarcane juice they intake. Meruvarsha, which is situated near Harivarsha, is also known as Ilavrat. It is devoid of the light of the sun but gets sufficient light from the radiant Sumeru mountain. It is so bright that even the sun gets undershadowed. People living in Meruvarsha enjoy a very long life for 30,000 years. Similarly, people living in Ramyak Varsha sustain themselves by drinking fruit juice. They live for 10,000 years. Hiranyamai Varsha is situated towards the north of Ramyak Varsha, where the river Hiranvati flows. The residents of Hiranyamai are powerful, rich and handsome in appearance. Swaroshish Manavantara. Kaushiki asked Markandeya, "O great sage, now tell me something about Swaroshish Manavantara." Markandeya replied, "Once upon a time, there lived a Brahmin at the bank of river Varuna. One day a guest arrived at his place. The Brahmin treated his guest with due respect. After formal introduction, the Brahmin became aware that his guest was not an ordinary person. He had travelled around the world with the help of some special mantras he knew and medicinal herbs which he had in his possession. The Brahmin was quite impressed. He too wanted to see the whole earth. He requested his guest to give the mantra and the medicinal herb so that he could travel around the world just like him. The guest applied some medicinal solution on his legs. After this, the Brahmin went to see the Himalaya mountain. While wandering there, the solution which had been applied on his legs got washed away. As a result, he now became immobile. He started looking all around himself. He found numerous apsaras entertaining the Kinnaras, Gandharvas and deities. The Brahmin was very much pleased to see the happy atmosphere prevailing all around Himalaya. He thought of going back to his place but was unsuccessful as the medicinal solutions had been washed. He became very sad. An Apsara by the name of Varudhini saw him in a miserable condition. She became infatuated by him. When she went near him, he asked, "Who are you? Who is your husband? What are you doing here?" After this, he narrated his own story and said, "I had come from Arunanagar to see the Himalaya, but I am unable to return home as the medicinal solution which was applied on my legs has been washed." Varudhini told the Brahmin that she was an Apsara. She also expressed her deep love towards the Brahmin. She requested the Brahmin to stay there and not to go back home. She assured him if he did as per her instructions, then he would enjoy an eternal youth. He would never become old. Varudhini forcefully tried to embrace the Brahmin. This made the Brahmin very angry. He said, "Varudhini, the sacred scriptures prohibit a Brahmin from indulging in sensual pleasures because it gives sorrow not only in this world but also after his death. But Varudhini was not satisfied by his answer. She threatened to give up her life if the Brahmin did not marry her. The Brahmin did not agree. The Brahmin purified himself by performing Achaman and began worshipping Agni. He said, O Agni, you are the root cause of all karmas. The deities bless you with rain only after you are pleased. O Agni, I need your blessings. I want to go back home. Varudhini's modesty breached. Markandeya says Agni became pleased by the Brahmin's devotion. Agni entered into his body. The Brahmin's body illuminated due to Agni's radiance. When Varudhini saw this, she was fascinated by the Brahmin's appearance. The Brahmin proceeded towards his home. Feeling helpless, Varudhini cursed her fate. Varudhini had once insulted a Gandharva named Kali sometime in the past. Chancing upon the opportunity, Kali went to Varudhini to take his revenge. He had disguised himself as a Brahmin. When she saw him, she said, I need your protection. If you heed to my request, then you will certainly attain virtuosity. Kali did not want her to know about his real identity. So he replied, if you really want my protection, then you must have your eyes closed while having capitulation. Varudhini agreed. His marriage with Manorama. In due course of time, Varudhini became pregnant. She gave birth to a child who was named Swarochi. The child was extraordinary. In a very short time, he became proficient in all the scriptures. One day, young Swarochi saw a terrified girl near the Mandhar mountain. When the girl saw Swarochi, she pleaded for help. Swarochi assured her and asked about her identity. She said, my name is Manorama. Once I had made fun of a sage who was doing penance near the Kailash mountain. At that time, two of my companions, Vibhavari and Kalavati, were also present with me. The sage cursed all the three of us. Vibhavari and Kalavati got inflicted with leprosy and tuberculosis due to his curse. Even I was not spared. I am being chased by a ferocious demon since then. I need your protection from that demon. I am giving you this very powerful weapon with which you can successfully kill the demon. Swarochi took the weapon. During the conversation between Swarochi and Manorama, a demon arrived just then. The demon wanted to devour Manorama. Swarochi was confused as he did not want the sage's curse to go futile. He allowed the demon to get hold of Manorama, who then started wailing. Hearing her wail, Swarochi thought of killing the demon. Becoming afraid, the demon released Manorama from his clutches and pleaded Swarochi to spare his life. He then narrated his own story. He said, you have rescued me from sage Brahmamitra's curse. Actually, my name is Indivarsha. I had requested Brahmamitra to teach him the nuances of Ayurveda, which he refused. I decided to learn Ayurveda while sage Brahmamitra taught his disciples by hiding myself. One day the sage came to know of this. He cursed me to become a demon. I begged for his forgiveness. He said, whatever I have said will definitely come true. You will certainly become a demon. After becoming a demon, you will try to devour your own daughter, but would regain your original form of Gandharva due to the touch of astral weapon with which you would be attacked. O great soul, since you have liberated me from the curse, therefore I hand over this girl to you. Accept her as your wife. I will also bestow the knowledge of Ayurveda, which I had learned from sage Brahmamitra. Manorama requested Swarochi to cure her companions from the diseases they were suffering from. Sorochi assured Manorama that he would certainly cure her companions with the help of Ayurveda, which the demon had taught him. Both Sorochi and Manorama got married. Sorochi then went to her companions and cured them from their diseases. Sorochi's other marriages. Markandeya says, after getting cured from their respective diseases, both the companions of Manorama expressed their gratitude to Sorochi. Sorochi married both Vibhavari as well as Kalavati. To show her gratitude, Vibhavari taught Sorochi a special art that helped him to understand the language of all living creatures. Kalavati, on the other hand, while narrating her tale, said, a demon named Ali had asked my hand in marriage from my father, but my father refused. The demon got angry and killed my father. I wanted to commit suicide, but Sati, the wife of Shambhu, prevented me from doing so by saying, you would be fortunate to become a wife of great soul, Sorochi. Sorochi's reproachment. Markandeya says, after getting married, Sorochi started living happily along with all his 3 wives at Malaya mountain. One day, impressed by the mutual love Sorochi and his wives had for each other, a female ruddy goose told another one, very rarely are found such couples who have love for each other. But the other female ruddy goose did not agree. She replied, you are wrong. Sorochi is not a blessed man. Actually, he deceives all of his 3 wives. Even his love for all the 3 wives is varied. When one wife is desirous of his love, he embraces the other wife. So where is the question of having mutual love for one another? In comparison, my husband and I are blessed because we have mutual love and respect for each other. Sorochi, who was listening to their conversation, realized how true the ruddy goose was. But still, he did not change his ways and continued to live with his wives for 100 years. One day, while wandering, Sorochi saw a deer surrounded by a herd of doe. One of the doe, on having a desire to copulate with the deer, started sniffing him in anticipation. But the deer became angry and said, do you think I am as shameless as Sorochi? A man who is sought by numerous beauties, his condition becomes laughable. Not only does the daily routine of such a man gets disturbed, but also his behavior is never fair towards his wives. The origin of Sorochi Manu. Markandeya says Sorochi became very sad after hearing the deer's utterances. He realized how lowly and mean he had become. He decided to renounce life after abandoning his wives. But this did not happen because as soon as he met them, he forgot everything about renunciation. He continued to live with his wife. In due course of time, Sorochi begot 3 sons, Vijay, Merunand and Prabhav. Sorochi ordered the construction of 3 cities for his sons, which he donated to each of them. The city situated towards the east was given to Vijay, while the city situated towards the north, named Nandavati, was given to Merunand. The city named Tal, which was situated in the south, was given to Prabhav. Sorochi then lived happily with his wife. One day Sorochi had gone for hunting. He saw a wild boar and adjusted his arrow on the bowstring to kill it. Just then a doe arrived and requested him to kill her instead of killing that boar. She said, kill me with your arrow so that I get liberated from my sorrow. I don't want to live because I have become infatuated with a person whose heart lies somewhere else. My aspirations remain unfulfilled. So death is my only refuge. Sorochi was very much amazed. He asked, who is that fellow? The doe replied, it is nobody than you. Sorochi was puzzled. How can this be? I am a man, whereas you are an animal. The doe then requested Swarochi to embrace her, which Swarochi agreed to do. As soon as Swarochi embraced the doe, she got transformed into a beautiful lady. Swarochi was very much astonished, but the doe said that, "Don't get puzzled. I am the presiding deity of this forest. I have come to seek your help on the request of the deities. It is your duty to help me in giving birth to a son named Manu." Swarochi married her, and in course of time she gave birth to a son. The whole atmosphere became joyous and happy at the birth of that child. Gandharvas started singing songs and the Apsaras danced. The deity showed flowers from heaven. The child was so radiant that all the four directions became illuminated by his brilliance. Swarochi named this child as Jyotiman. This child was later on also known as Swarochish, the son of Swarochi. One day while wandering, Swarochi saw a swan who was telling his wife, "Now we have become old, so that what is the use of remaining attached to each other? It's time we must seriously start thinking of renouncing life." But his wife said, "This world is meant for enjoying sensual pleasures. Even the Brahmins perform yajnas with that purpose in their mind. All the virtuous people indulge in virtuous activities with the sole desire of experiencing the pleasure of life. How come the idea of renunciation has entered your mind?" The swan replied, "One who is not attracted towards sensual pleasures is totally devoted to God. One who is attached by worldly matters can never reach God. Have you not seen the state of Swarochi? How can he be liberated from the sorrows of the world if he is not even willing to shun the attachment? I am not like Swarochi. I know that after enjoying a fully satisfied life, this is the time to renounce everything." After hearing this, Swarochi was very much ashamed of himself. He decided to do penance. His wives also accompanied him. All of them ultimately went to heaven by the virtue of their penance. Swarochish Manvantara. Markandeya says, during this Swarochish Manvantara, Indra was famously known as Vipashit. The other deities were known as Parvat and Tushi. The names of the Saptarishis who lived during this Manvantara were Urja, Stamba, Purana, Datta, Ali, Rishab, Nishachar, and Aravira. Swarochish Manu had 7 sons who were very mighty and brave. Chaitra and Kimpurusha were 2 of them. The descendants of Swarochish ruled the earth till the end of this Manvantara. Kaushik asked, "O Lord, tell me about the treasures of this world." Markandeya replied, "Goddess Lakshmi is the presiding deity of learning, Vidya, called Padmini. After getting perfection in this Vidya, a man becomes the master of 8 types of treasures: Padma, Mahapadma, Makar, Kachup, Mukunda, Nandak, Neel, and Shakha. The treasures called Padma is pure in nature. A man who becomes the master of this treasure mainly deals in things like gold and silver. Not only he but also his descendants derive benefits from this particular treasure. A person who is the master of Mahapadma deals in things like pearls, corals. This particular treasure does not abandon a man till his 7th generation. The treasure called Makar is tamasic in nature. A man who is the master of this particular treasure is basically tamasic by nature. Such a man has mastery in handling over various weapons like swords, bows, and arrows. This particular wealth remains with a man only for 1 generation. The treasure called Kachup is also tamasic in nature. A master of this particular treasure enjoys all the pleasures of this world, and he does not trust any person easily. This treasure also remains with a man only for one generation. The treasure called Mukunda comprises of rajas qualities. A master of this treasure becomes proficient in four types of musical instruments like veena, venu, mridanga. Such a man earns a lot of money by exhibiting his art. The treasure called Nandak is a combination of rajas and tamas qualities. A man who gets influences by this treasure becomes immobile. Such a man deals in things like metals, jewels, cereals. The master of this treasure is very benevolent and kind hearted. This particular treasure remains with a man till the seventh generation. The treasure called Neel is also a combination of rajas and sattva qualities. A master of this treasure deals in things like clothes, cotton, pearls, fruits, flowers, and things made from wood. This particular treasure remains with a man till three generations. A possessor of this treasure is a great social worker and constructs bridge ponds. The treasure called Shank comprises of rajas and tamas qualities. Only one person can master this particular treasure. Such a man enjoys good food and is fond of wearing expensive clothes. Normally, this type of man does not give shelter to other people and is constantly thinking of his own betterment.